What's up guys, Joey here. So AMD just released a preview driver for May 2022. This preview should be 22.5.2 when it releases, but the actual driver version name comes up as, where is it here? Comes up as 22.10.01.03. But you can test it now. There's a link I'll give down in the comments below. You can download it from here. And there are still, it is a preview driver, so there are bugs, especially a hang that can occur on 2560 by 1600 resolution displays when trying to use RSR. So if you are on, that resolution, just, beware and avoid RSR. And there's a workaround. You can just set it to full panel mode on your display scaling. So using your display to scale instead of the driver. So that is one workaround for that system hang. But anyway, your results may vary, but the main reason I wanted to test this is they said that there's a performance uplift in a range of DirectX 11 titles, but obviously they don't test every single game. And with all the gains here, I thought maybe Hunt Showdown will have a benefit. And the other important feature is that they have added a sharpening slider to RSR. So Radeon Super Resolution now can have its sharpness adjusted on the fly in-game. So I wanted to test that as well as just compare the normal benchmark. Like you can actually just see what kind of frame rate I'm getting. So this is at 3440 by 1440 native on the preview driver. And as you can tell, the driver is running stable as far as performance is concerned. And I'm not able to use the normal Radeon image sharpening I normally use. I'll just turn SMA off to sharpen it up a bit. See if I can spot anyone over there. Probably gonna get shot though in this. Let's see. Where are they? Just need to spot one hit. Oh, they're shooting at me. That's no good. I can't even lower the resolution down because then I'll be seen. I'll probably spot him, and just as I look at him, oh, is that one? Did I hit him? Behind that tree. Oh, we're all gonna be up here, seriously? Jeez. Hello. Yeah, it's a bit hard. You can see the frame rate I'm getting though. This is 3440 by 1440, uncapped, competitive settings, object quality low because it's the frame rate hard. And I'll see if I can spot anyone by this tree. Ow. I do have fanning, don't I? Jeez, I'm getting hit by two. They're gonna kill my teammate. I can't res in this spot. I do. Oh, it's been reloaded. I'm gonna try to get our teammate back up. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Sorry guys. Like I wanted to change the resolution, but give me a bit. Just up there. Oh, my aim. Seriously. Ah, he got me. Okay, I can change the resolution now while I'm speccing a partner. It's gonna res me straight away. But anyway, we'll see. You can see what frame rate I was getting. Average around 150 for that combat. And then we're gonna go down to Radeon Super Resolution 2560 by 1080, and we're up at 200 FPS. That is crazy good. Did I just let it heal on its own? Are you serious? Where is he coming from? Is he in the roof? Couldn't even see. Jeez, this is not good. Need to go more stealth mode. Find this guy. You can see. Bloody hell. But yeah, you can at least see the frame rate, and then I can adjust the sharpening, so you can see how it gets a bit blurry at this lower resolution with RSR, and I can actually turn the sharpening off on the fly. Oh, nice. Did he just get killed by a mob? So sharpening off. You can just look at the distance, or look at this character model. Sharpening off. Yeah, you can see the bushes mainly. They all sharpen up the foliage. Trying different levels of sharpening, but I can't stay still. But yeah, you can see the frame rate boost at least, and then all we got to do is see if the image quality is decent enough with the RSR, which it looks decent at this angle, but then it's the foliage in the distance that gets all blurry that was bothering me with the default RSR. And now that we can sharpen, we can add sharpening to it, we can fine-tune that. So am I dead? Yeah, they need a bounty. Let's hope they come back for me. So if he gets like a steady running pace, I can adjust this slider with the stick. But you can see the difference. Like if I put it to 0, you can see immediately if I turn it to 100. Like everything sharpens up, but it's a little bit over sharpened, like there's more shimmering because it's a lower resolution, and just lowering it down a little bit may help to remove some of that. And because we're running at a lower resolution, we can afford to actually turn SMA 2TX up, and we should run higher than 150 FPS. Like I was getting about 150 before outdoors on the roof, and now we're at about 180 here, running around out here with SMA 2TX. So it's kind of a trade-off, like you're losing resolution, but you're gaining a huge FPS boost if you're on 165Hz ultra-wide or something like that. 1440p, obviously you'll get a boost there too. But I have to run native desktop 1440p in order for RSR to detect and upscale properly, so I can't do that on the fly. I'd have to do another video for that. But yeah, you can just see here how it looks. It actually looks very similar to 3440 by 1440 with SMAA off, but we're running about 20-30 FPS higher. So yeah. And then if I turn the SMAA off, we'll be up at 200 FPS. Close to it. not bad. I mean, if you don't mind a bit of aliasing, you still get aliasing even at 3440 by 1440. But the main thing is that you can sharpen up the image, and so nothing looks blurry, which I find even more annoying than aliasing. Like a sharp image I can handle, my eyes can adjust to that. But when stuff's blurry, it's like, you know, that oily canvas feeling. It makes the game feel weird. And yeah, you could tweak it a little bit. This is at 75%. If I go to 100%, it can be even more sharp. You could even turn sharpening off, see if it helped with the shimmering. Like it's just upscaling then, if you turn the sharpening off. For a game that might have sensitive textures to sharpening. Still looks pretty good actually. Just I can't. He this guy straight looks left and right a lot. Yeah, nice. Killing. Was someone really extracting? It wasn't a bounty though. Just like a random dude extracting. What the heck? And now the other guy just revealed his position too. Did he run into the bush? This is weird. This is like a weird map. Weird match. Why are people extracting? What was that? It wasn't bounties. It was just a team trying to extract for no reason. Don't leave me. There's still a bounty in the map. Oh no. Tell me my other teammate's still alive. Got the kill, right? That's funny. So actually in Hunt, I noticed the shimmering is less by actually eliminating the sharpening. That it had a default level of sharpening on the original RSR, and it looks like the shimmering has gone down a lot. Although we do get the blurring foliage, you can actually remove the shimmering, so it's a trade-off, one or the other. Do you want sharp image and less shimmering, or... Look, he's got all his health back too from those kills. Or, I don't know, it's just a timer to get your normal health bars back. Yeah. Well, this teammate's got full health. I don't know how the other guys still got full health. Sorry, I've been staring at the image quality rather than what's happening in the game, so it's hard to pay attention to both and look at the FPS at the same time. But this looks pretty good. I mean, we're at 3440 by 1440 RSR upscale, and the game looks pretty darn good considering the frame rate is insane. That's 200 FPS in Hunt Showdown. I never thought I'd see it coming from beta. At this resolution, anyway. What is he doing? Did he get all the bodies already? Go for the bounty guys. It's like no one's taken out a... But it's, I think some people already extracted with the first bounty. Yeah, scrap big. Up here. Well, they can get the second. 60 FPS in a bush. Okay, so now we've seen like the frame rate. I'll leave it to run for a little bit while this guy runs around, and it is averaging 211 FPS. So from a competitive perspective, even if you round it down to the closest 200 FPS is insane. And I just turned the sharpening fully off. It still looks pretty good with SMAA disabled, but we'll see the shimmering and stuff near buildings more intensive. Like once we get near these buildings, we might get a better idea. But it looks pretty good, like a pretty stable image. My settings here, everything's low. And I can turn, we can see if the shimmering gets worse. Yeah, you can just see the sharpness, the detail of the leaves and stuff when I turn it down compared to when I turn it up. So off, sharpening max, sharpening minimum, max, minimum. It actually de-emphasizes the foliage. So unless people are hiding in the bushes, that's like kind of what you don't want, but if you're shooting in a farm and the distant trees are more blended together, you're going to see better in the foreground. So there is one benefit to having sharpening turned down, but if you just want detail, like you don't want any blurriness in your distant trees, then you could turn it off, I guess. It has its own preference. But I think the shimmering gets worse. See, if I turn it up, see the shack, it's all sharp, and if I turn it down, it looks more like SMAA is enabled, but it's not enabled. It's just an effect of having the lower resolution upsampling. So very interesting, but the main thing, I'll keep that sharpening effect on 0, because that's apples to apples. When I turn it back to native resolution, sharpening is off. So, apples to apples, sharpening completely disabled, RSR upscaling to 3440x1440 from 1080p. We are at 184 average FPS. Let's just say 180 FPS in this compound, running around, and I'll have to wait for him to go inside to make it fair, because it'll change. Okay, when he's inside here, make up your mind. Okay, whatever. Around 180 FPS, okay, that's good enough. Going up and down like 170, one thingy. I'll turn it back up to 3440x1440, and we'll see if we get even 170. And we are on 170 inside the shack, but outside, we're at 150. Yeah, he's getting... No, it's even lower. It was getting 144 when he wasn't zooming in. Yeah, 144, 162 looking down at the ground. That's different. It's going all the way down to 130 as he runs around 140. So 130, 140, and the average is showing 149. But just keep into account what he's actually looking at. He's looking down to go into the hole and stuff. So out here, 140. Just look at the bottom. The D3, D11 is the actual instant FPS, the FPS reading live. So 152, 160, and if I turn it back down to the RSR upsampling, we were at 140 out here, now we're at 190 to 200. And when he goes inside, it's at 174, 180. And if we compare the 1% lows too, which is also very important for smooth gameplay, 163 and then 158 outside. So luckily he keeps dipping back and forth between two scenes. 179 indoors, that is really good. 147. And then wait for him to run out again. He does. And out here it's at 157. I was even as high as 170. Like, that is crazy for 1% lows. If you were running, you know, even a 144Hz monitor, you can benefit from boosting your 1% lows. And then if we go back to 3440x1440, back to native, our 1% lows are down to 6, not that bad. 142, 130. We were actually up at like 150 plus before. 131, and then if he looks, I want him to look back at the water. 126. Anyway, 130. We'll just round it up. We'll round it up. 1% lows at native. We're 140. Because they keep going back, like, they're varying a little bit. even 126 out. When he looks out at the water, there's one under 130. And then we put it back. So I have to go back and forward so that you can like keep it in your memory. But if I reset it, then 1% lower are 159. Although that was from initiating the banish, so that dip. What if the banish is like causes FPS drop? Looks like it does. Okay, here we go. Now here 127 before, and now it's up at 180. Standing still, reloading, and as he runs around. It still goes down fairly low as he runs around more, you know, all the mobs. But this is different though, because there's many mobs around, and that also is CPU bound and utilization bound. But interesting anyway, I just wanted to share, because the average is important, and you know, if you're on 165 Hertz, then definitely you could benefit from RSR and it would scale accordingly. You know, if you're on 4040p, try upscaling from 1080p and adjust that resolution slider. Actually, after testing it in Hunt Showdown, I recommend turning RSR sharpening all the way down. Because the default had some level of sharpening that was causing way more shimmering. This is actually bearable. If you want that high frame rate. And if I cap it, let's just see how stable it is. If I cap it to like, because I'm on 100 Hz myself, if I cap it to 105 with 1080p upscale, it is holding 1% lows at 105. We'll see when he runs around or when he shoots if it changes. Like that is super good if it doesn't drop. And we can also test, I can just use the in-game cap here. We can also test 144. So 144. How good are the 1% lows here? Because when you cap it, you do lose some 1% low. Because the average, obviously, it's running at a lower utilization, and the way the boost algorithm works can be affected. But it could just be the scene, because this scene does not run high FPS. Yeah, fire. So it's not going to hold 144 minimums, but it does hold 105. If I go back to 105, the 1% lows do go up. But when stuff's happening, you know, you get those odd 0.1 drops. I wouldn't worry about that because you don't actually feel that in movement. It's the 1% being low that really cause stuttering, like a stuttery feeling when you move the mouse and input latency. So yeah, we can hold 105 all day, it looks like, for 1%. Very good. And then if I uncap it to 144... But then you do get the benefit, you know, lower temperatures, everything as well, from running overall lower GPU utilization because of the resolution and upscaling. You can actually save a lot of noise and heat from your card, and power. Because we're running 100 watts for this, 120 watts, looks like, for 144. And then for 105 cap, we're running just 95 watts, 95 to 110 watts. Interesting. And then if I leave it capped, so we're at 110 watts, we'll just say, for 105 cap, and I go to native, it increases the GPU utilization because there's more higher resolution to process, and we gain 20 watts there at 105 FPS, 20 watt increase in power consumption. We can still hold 105 though, in native. That's fine how it is. And it could be the driver. The driver's got DirectX 11 improvements that is noted on the patch notes. On the testing done at Tom's Hardware, they noticed that there was double-digit improvements in some games. So there could be improvement in Hunt. I have not directly compared this to older videos. On the previous, like my previous, 24.4.2 was my last Hunt videos, and so you could run them side by side and see. So if I uncap it to 144 at native resolution, you can see that we are using almost 200 watts. So just from a power consumption, if you're a conservative gamer, like, not everyone's rich, and you want to save some power, you can also run RSR for the power saving benefit, not specifically because you need high FPS. But yeah, look at the same scene though. I waited. Came and got me. You can actually see, like, see how there's not. This is native though. I need to go back to the. I can actually test properly now that I'm live. 15 minutes. And you can see a little bit of shimmering. Aliasing is from the lower resolution. And then if I crank it up to even just 50%, we'll see if it's worse. There is... Yeah, I see more aliasing and more shimmering. Yeah, I do not like how this looks with the max, with high levels of sharpening. It's better if it's on low, just to soften the image a bit. What are we doing? That's what this guy needed help. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. This is just a preview test. I just wanted to share Hunt Showdown in general. Not specifically for RSR exclusively, although it is nice seeing the slider. But for the driver itself, to see if there was a performance gain in Hunt, because it's DirectX 11. And possibly, I can actually tell from one match, because the RSR is kind of also skewing the performance numbers. So I'd have to do a full match in native resolution and compare it to my previous Hunt upload to see if there's a definite boost. Is there a body here? There was a body somewhere. Oh, I can't see it. What is this guy have? Somnus? What is that? I don't even know. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I will test Warzone soon because, you know, the Godzilla thing. And Warzone was another title that was it benefited a lot from RSR, even without any like there was no aliasing issues. You just turn on RSR and it looks good and runs at higher FPS. So the driver itself may have boosted Warzone performance, and I do just want to test out the new update because it'll be running a different frame rate altogether to my previous test. So thanks for watching guys, and see you in the next video. Bye.